George Washington. George Washington set the standard by peacefully stepping down after 2 terms, proving democracy works. John Adams. John Adams kept the U.S. out of war during the tense conflict between Britain and France. Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson doubled America's size with the Louisiana Purchase. James Madison. James Madison, the father of the Constitution, led the country through the War of 1812, solidifying independence. James Monroe. James Monroe established the Monroe Doctrine, a cornerstone of U.S. foreign policy. John Quincy Adams. John Quincy Adams built infrastructure and pushed for a national university. Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson defended the Union and expanded democratic participation with his populist approach. Martin Van Buren. Martin Van Buren helped build the modern political party system. William Henry Harrison. William Henry Harrison had the shortest term, but energized the Whig Party. John Tyler. John Tyler annexed Texas, setting the stage for westward expansion. James K. Polk. James K. Polk expanded U.S. territory dramatically with the acquisition of Oregon, California, and the Southwest. Zachary Taylor. Zachary Taylor maintained national unity during debates over slavery. Millard Fillmore. Millard Fillmore opened trade with Japan by supporting the Perry Expedition. Franklin Pierce. Franklin Pierce facilitated the Gadsden Purchase, securing land for railroads. James Buchanan. James Buchanan presided as tensions mounted before the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln preserved the Union and ended slavery with the Emancipation Proclamation. Andrew Johnson. Andrew Johnson championed Reconstruction after the Civil War. Ulysses S. Grant. Ulysses S. Grant crushed the Ku Klux Klan and pushed for civil rights protections. Rutherford B. Hayes. Rutherford B. Hayes ended Reconstruction and restored order after a controversial election. James A. Garfield. James A. Garfield advocated civil service reform, even during his short presidency. Chester A. Arthur. Chester A. Arthur implemented the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act, reducing corruption. Grover Cleveland. Grover Cleveland vetoed wasteful bills and championed fiscal responsibility. Benjamin Harrison. Benjamin Harrison modernized the Navy and supported voting rights for African Americans. William McKinley. William McKinley led the nation to victory in the Spanish-American War, gaining global influence. Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt created the National Park System, conserving America's natural wonders. William Howard Taft. William Howard Taft strengthened antitrust laws and established the income tax. Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson founded the League of Nations after World War I, paving the way for global cooperation. Warren G. Harding. Warren G. Harding supported economic growth through tax cuts and limited government. Calvin Coolidge. Calvin Coolidge oversaw a period of economic prosperity known as the Roaring Twenties. Herbert Hoover. Herbert Hoover led massive relief efforts during the Great Depression. Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal transformed the economy and lifted the country during the Great Depression and World War II. Harry S. Truman. Harry S. Truman ended World War II by authorizing the atomic bomb and rebuilt Europe with the Marshall Plan. Dwight D. Eisenhower. Dwight D. Eisenhower built the interstate highway system, revolutionizing American transportation. John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy launched the Apollo program, setting the U.S. on course for the moon. Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act, pushing for equality. Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon opened diplomatic relations with China and ended the Vietnam War. Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford restored trust in government after Watergate. Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter brokered peace with the Camp David Accords between Egypt and Israel. Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan ended the Cold War through diplomacy and military strength. George H.W. Bush led the coalition to victory in the Gulf War. Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton balanced the federal budget and oversaw economic prosperity. George W. Bush. George W. Bush led the country through the aftermath of 9/11, launching counter-terrorism efforts. Barack Obama. Barack Obama provided health care to millions through the Affordable Care Act. Donald Trump. Donald Trump negotiated historic peace agreements in the Middle East. Joe Biden. Joe Biden restored global alliances and passed sweeping infrastructure legislation.